Alright, hey YouTube, I'm gonna try to fix this camera so you can actually see me because I don't have one of those camera holders. So, today I just wanted to talk on some of the videos that I've seen and just on, I'm gonna get a little bit closer here, on some, my own personal views. And I had to make a list because I forget stuff. So, Dyslexic Skittle on Twitter, and I guess the first thing I'll talk about is people always say, like, how do you know if you're gay or lesbian or if it's just a phase? For me personally, I don't know the answer to any of that, other than the fact that growing up for me, I remember a lot of times I'd be watching movies and you see somebody and it's almost like you recognize them, right? But you're not actually recognizing them. You identify with something that you guys share, and whether that's being gay or whether that's being in the closet or whatever, you recognize each other, or I guess what people call gaydar, right? So that's what I struggled with growing up, is I would see people on the street, I would see people in movies, or just like a singer, or just something, and later on, I really am dyslexic, good lord. Anyway, later on, I would find out that they're gay. Like, they like women or they like men. And I felt like on the inside there was that recognition. And it made me nervous because nobody knew I was gay at the time. Like, they didn't know I liked girls. So I was like, oh my gosh, if I recognize that in somebody else, can they recognize that in me too? And it made me so paranoid that I overcompensated by being boy crazy and being like, oh, he has such a cute butt and he's so handsome, because obviously I'm not blind. I can tell whether you're, handsome or you have beautiful eyes and whether you have a nice figure and stuff like that. Like, telling a man that he's handsome doesn't make you straight any more than, telling your girlfriend, like, oh, you have really gorgeous hair today, it makes you gay, right? And so that's what I struggled with a lot growing up, was, can they tell that I'm gay? But now that I'm comfortable with myself and I can actually, tell people or, like, talk about it and stuff like that, I understand more is that, like, I do recognize and I do identify with people who are gay, and I tried to hide from it when I was younger, but it was still there. Like, that piece of me on the inside knew. Like, I know you. We know each other. We're kind of the same here. So, it's kind of interesting to me that people call it gaydar, right? You can tell if someone is gay, supposedly, which I think is kind of not always true, but sometimes it really is. But another thing I just sort of wanted to talk about was, hold on, I look at my notes. Oh yeah, health conditions in LGBTQ communities or things like that. I found there's so much on, like, oh, I want long hair, I want short hair, I want muscles, I want big boobs. Like, everybody has something they want. They are setting out these things that are criteria for who they're going to be with. It's almost like people are putting those higher than the actual person and their personality themselves. Like, okay, well, she has to have, curves, and she has to have, like, a huge ass and, perfect tits, and this guy, he has to have muscles, and he has to be this tall, and, this tan, and cute lips, and I don't know, whatever else, right? So when it comes to imperfections, it's so not talked about. It's almost like it's hushed. There's a lot of people who even simple thing as, like, arthritis, fibromyalgia, diabetes, things like that, it's almost like untalked about. Because personally, I'm celiac and I have Crohn's. And you don't hear a lot of health conditions really broadcasted or talked about, or like a comfortable conversational setting, because I think there's too much stress being put on the ideal versus reality. And we need to fix that, because if we're gonna make everything normal and it's just gonna be marriage, it's not gonna be gay marriage and all that stuff, then we need to accept everything else that comes with it. You know, you marry somebody because you love them, not because they're 5'5" with, you know, thick hips and, you know, sexy lips. It's not how it's supposed to go. And having Crohn's, it makes it, I'm really self-conscious a lot of the time with trying to feel comfortable, because, you know, everyone's searching for this perfect ideal person, but that I'm not that, and I won't pretend to be perfect either, because I am who I am. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to any of you, but personally for me, I find such like a cage on open conversation and very little acceptance around people who are supposed to be the most accepting. Not that we're all going to be friends and get along all the time, because, you know, we're people. You know, crap happens and we disagree, but the fact that I know, like, others are searching for that perfect match. Like, she has to be feminine and wear heels all the time and makeup and have her nails done and, you know, studs or butch or whatever the hell labels you got applied to you. They have to, you know, have the fades, and they have to have the sneakers and the hats and all that, you know, all the labels. I'm just really not into that. I'm not into labels and perfection and all that other stuff that people put on everything, right? So that's just my opinion on that. And yeah, those are the only topics I really wanted to talk about. So if there's anybody else out there who has any opinions on this, or wants to expand on it, or has any questions about Crohn's or celiac or just anything, you know, I am here. So I'm going to be making more videos, and hopefully I'll stick to it this time, because I get sidetracked and I do get things backwards, and I'm just a fuddy-duddy and a weirdo and very disorganized. So, dyslexic Skittle, and thanks for watching!